Let's stop wasting time and let's sip some coffee. Ryan McCarthy joins us this morning. How are you, me Irish fellow?
I am having a relaxing bye week. Now that
That's a good thing.
now that there's no stress of having to watch the New York Jets for this week.
I won't get that break until week 9 when the 49ers are on a bye, but I expect us to be cruising by that point. They're 3-0 since the trade. Who cares? And it's 2-1. Okay, since we're talking Bears and Bitter Truth wants to throw stuff at me, I'll throw this at you. Who cares? It's the Bears, for God's sake. They're 2-5. And this is a team that a lot of people in Chicago thought would be 12-5. Man, get out of here with that. With what? I'm sorry.
You had to get out of your system. It's okay. It's in case of the Mondays. I understand.
You totally get it.
When you reach a certain point in your in life, it's just something's just gotta be said.
Listen, I'm having so much fun since Duke University Cancer Center told me that I wasn't going to even be here past age 49. And here I am at 51, still talking mess, still watching football with my beautiful wife and kids. I feel great. And my wife told me this morning, I am walking and I am breathing and I can get on any soapbox that I can. All right. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. You give those folks at Duke University Medical Center the double deuce and say, I'm gonna live.
And I'm out.
Yeah. I'm out. I'm out of here.
I go, you won't give me a chance? Okay. IU Med Center did.
You channeled your inner Cartman from South Park and said, "Screw you guys, I'm going
home." Exactly. That's exactly what I did. So since the Jets are on a bye week, what you got for me this week?
Let's talk some CFL again.
Winnipeg has sealed the West Division.
Because
BC lost.
Yeah, because remember what I just said in the chat. It's the worst time to have your clunkers if it's divisions on the line or the playoff spot on the line. And there were 2 teams that had clunkers this past week in the CFL.
Yeah, BC
the BC Lions and Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Saskatchewan Roughriders
out of the playoffs.
So Saskatchewan's out.
Yep. Right? Calgary's in.
And the Stampeders beat the hell out of the Lions. And that got them in with Saskatchewan. Wow.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I actually can't wait to listen to Rod Peterson this afternoon.
You and me both.
I have a feeling. Heads are going to roll in Saskatchewan. I think Jeremy O'Day is out. I think Craig Dickenson is out.
I think
they're both gone.
I think that whole regime needs to change.
Oh, for sure, for sure. The problem is that it's with Saskatchewan, they're community owned, so they don't have a private ownership where one person says, "Okay, they make the decisions." They have a committee of people. Same with Edmonton. Same with Winnipeg.
Yeah,
they're the only 3 teams in the league who are community owned, and the problem with that is you have a committee of people who are with one president who are have this final say in things. But I have a feeling Black Monday's coming for O'Day and for Dickinson. They're gonna do some soul searching, and they lost their last 7 games. That's ridiculous.
And they were in the picture earlier in the season. By the time July turned into August, we were looking at Saskatchewan being a possible playoff contender, and then the bottom fell out.
Yeah,
and then the bottom fell out. As you mentioned, they lost 7 straight. The first thing on the field they need to solve, they need to get a damn quarterback.
They had a quarterback. They had Trevor Harris, and they broke his leg in the first game against Calgary.
Oh,
that's what happened to him, and they had to rely on Dolagala and what's the other quarterback's name? Mason Fine for the season. The Mason Fine got hurt, and Dolagala was a starter for the rest of the season. So it's just inconsistency on offense. Their offensive line is not great. They got to fix both sides of the line. Actually, they got to fix the offensive line, and they got to get some talent on receivers because
they have no one. They have no one to throw to.
They have no one to throw.
Absolutely no one to throw to.
MLS is a good receiver. They have that other kid, Bain, who was I think he led the league in receiving yards this year. But the quarterback's got no time to throw. You're not going to move the ball.
3 teams in the West Division. They are Winnipeg, who clinched the division. BC and Calgary get in. Toronto's clinched the East. I mean, hell, they did that a month ago.
Yeah, they did that 2 months.
They did that 2 months ago, and I hope to have Mike Hogan, the voice of the champion Argos, on my program one more time. Montreal and Hamilton get in. Hamilton at 8.
Watch out for Hamilton.
I say the same.
For Hamilton.
I say the same because
it's a hot hand right now.
It seems like the second half of the year, the Tiger Cats have gotten their act together. It seems like second half of the year they've gotten their act together. Don't let the record fool you at 8 and 9. Do not let it fool you.
And Bo Levi's back. Levi's back at the quarterback position. He's a proven winner.
And then there's Tim White.
Yep.
Just
former New York Jet Tim White. It's amazing how a lot of
Tim White is hauling in these one-handed catches.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Tim White is hauling in these catches that will make Jerry Rice proud.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, let me use another Canadian receiving legend. Tim White is hauling in catches that will make Milt Stegall proud.
Oh, Milt Stegall. Oh, of course. I mean, I sometimes I catch the pregame or the halftime of those games. I love Milt Stegall. He's good. He's a great analyst. Same with Doug. Same with Matt Dunnigan. Same with David Sanchez. You'll catch Coach Barker on Fridays on Rod Peterson's show.
Yeah,
he's an awesome guest. I love when Coach Barker.
I love Rod and his guests.
Yeah,
and someone asked me before I came on air, how I met Rod. I was in North Carolina, and I was at work, and I had a break, and I just happened to catch his show, and I love the guy. So when we got home that afternoon, I reached out to him and I said, "Can I have you for an interview?" Been friends since 3 years now. 3 years now. And Rod's a great personality. He's a great person. Yeah. Love talking to him. Love having him on the show. Hope to get him back on soon. Producer Clark, same thing.
Yep. Love
those guys.
Yeah.
But do heads need to roll in Ottawa after a 4-13? Well, what is a 4-13 season right now?
It was I think this year was just all about injuries because they stayed in games. They just couldn't lock in the victory. They had that miracle comeback against Winnipeg in July. That was a fun game. But when you have a rookie out there who's been carrying your team at quarterback for the entirety of the season, and you had your best your premier signing from last season, Masoli, going out with another injury one more time. He tore on a non-contact injury too. Tore his Achilles on the turf. It's like, what if
I was waiting to see what Masoli can do?
If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
None. Absolutely no luck, man. And I feel so bad for Masoli because I wanted to tune into that game and see what he can do. Thank you, CFL Plus. I wanted to tune in and see what Masoli can do, and then I saw the play where it happened, and I instantly knew he tore his ACL. I instantly knew it.
No, it wasn't his ACL; it was his Achilles.
It was his Achilles. Thank you. Not his
ACL was last year.
Yeah, ACL was last year. He tore his Achilles this year, and I knew it was his Achilles because I saw it happen to my wife. I saw it happen to my wife. She had a very horribly pronounced limp. And then when we got the exam, it was everything she had feared at the time that she tore her Achilles. Thank God that she's gotten better. But I feel for Masoli. Worked so hard to get back from one injury, only to have another one. Yep. Is this it? Would this be it for him?
I really hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not. He's a good quarterback. I like seeing him. I love seeing him play. He almost brought the Tiger Cats no, that was St. Evans. Sorry, or was it Jeremiah Russell? What? Hold on. Real time research. I was thinking about the 2021 Grey Cup. I think he was in the Grey Cup.
I think it was Masoli.
Yeah, because it
was Masoli.
Yep. Because I think he came in for Dane Evans when Dane Evans got hurt.
Evans got hurt. Masoli came in, and were it not for a pick in overtime. Were it not for a pick in overtime, because I watched that one all the way through, and the Tiger Cats would have staged the miracle of all miracles, because they were in the first overtime period when the interception happened.
Yeah, that was a strange game period, because you had the wind coming in from one side of the field was coming in at like 20-30 miles an hour.
23 miles an hour. Yep.
Punts were impossible. Any team that had the wind with them went up scoring.
Easy.
Whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. Easy, because you can throw the ball pretty well.
And if you notice during that game, they didn't just throw the ball when they had the wind. They threw it down the field. They were getting chunk plays down the field when they had the wind. When they were against the wind, what do you think they did? They ran the football.
That's all you can do. Run the football.
They ran the football. Punting was impossible.
Yeah, and that was a chore.
That was at the Hammer, wasn't it?
Yep. That was at the Hammer. And this year's at the Hammer too.
And this year's at the Hammer.
And I think next year's in BC.
Next year's at BC Place, and I'll be damned if I don't take you and my family and a couple of others up to BC, and we don't see that sumbitch in person.
Yeah, I was hoping to be there. I was hoping to be there this year. I'm only about a 6 or 7 hour drive to Hamilton, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the time off from work to do that. But
understood.
Hopefully, I can save some change. Well, I got some sports trips planned for next year. Yeah,
same. I love to go to stadium tour. I'm working on my stadium tour.
Yep, I would love to go to the Grey Cup in BC. There's actually an event happening in March in Las Vegas.
Really?
The National Rugby League is going to be opening in America for the first time ever. They had 2 games at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, they're going to play Allegiant? Sweet.
Yeah, they're going to play Allegiant. Yeah.
They're going to play Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah. I'm going to save some pennies, maybe get a media pass and take some photos or interview some players for the podcast.
Speaking of Allegiant, there is a chance that we will be in Vegas the week of the Super Bowl. Because there is a station that wants my show that I'm working with, KSHP in Vegas. And the fellow in charge there wants my show on his network so bad. He's working on getting local sponsors out there. We're working on getting national sponsors. It's just the first month where I have to fit the bill. And I told him, let me get things together here so I can pay for the airtime, and he'll pay for the rest of the airtime. And God willing, the first stadium I knock off on my stadium tour will be Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58. And yes, I am calling everybody when we get there, when Jody and I get there, because this is a team trip. Yeah. I am not even messing around here, because I told Jody, be ready in February. And she says, for what? And I said, SB 58. And I walked away, and she comes flying in the kitchen and spins me around and goes, what? I said, it's in motion. And I said, it's in motion. It's in motion. She says, well, you better let me know when it is so I can save up the time from work. I'm like, baby, I'm a step ahead of you, because I already told the folks at Elders Journey where I work, don't expect me the week of the Super Bowl. And one of the ladies in charge said, you're not doing what I think you're doing. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Well, she already knew, because I told her what I do. And she gave me this look, and she was kidding around. She says, "You're not doing what I think you're gonna be." Oh hell yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, I'm planning on it. And they were so nice and said, "Well, just keep us posted, and we'll be sure not to schedule you that week." I'm like, "You ain't scheduling me that week. I'm making sure of that because I'm getting all the pieces in place now, so that when second week in February and the teams are determined." As
We
the
go.
late great George Carlin said, "Get on the plane, get on the plane. F you, we're getting in the plane." Ryan McCarthy joining us here. You know who I feel bad for in the CFL? The Edmonton Eskimos. Because they finally figured out how to win games. So it doesn't cost their team.
You know, I was rooting for them to actually sneak up and grab the last playoff spot in the West.
I was hoping they would, man.
Oh, that would have been so. That would have been such a great story. Start 0-9, and then make the playoffs,
and then make the playoffs,
man. Well,
and then which would have made their signing of Geno Lewis worth something. It still is, and they should have started Trey Ford at the top of the season.
Yeah,
you start Trey Ford, you're sitting in the playoff spot right now.
That's what did them in this season. Chris Jones not figuring out his quarterback situation earlier. He was going back and forth between Trey Ford and Taylor Cornelius. And he just couldn't decide. Neither of them played well enough to decide who's going to be the full-time starter. Well, then all of a sudden, Trey Ford comes along and starts balling out, and he becomes a full-time starter. So hopefully next season, this figures out the quarterback situation starting for next season. I think they can get the ball rolling immediately and start stacking some wins.
This will give him a head start for next year. Why is that Hefe in the house? Good morning to you, my brother. Great to have you with us. The Deacon of Defense himself is joining us. Big time Vikings fan. I plan to have him on to talk some Vikings real soon. Speaking of which, tonight the 49ers and the Vikings go at it from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm gonna try to do that game, but as I said, it depends on timing, and it depends on what time I have to leave to take Sally to work because she works nights, which eliminates a lot of night games between Sunday and Thursday, which is fine by me, because what I can do, and I figured this out, what I can do NBA wise is do all the late games because I'll be coming in, right when they start, and I can pick it up in progress. And they're on until like 1:30 in the morning, pending overtimes anyway. So I can pick up all the late games, which means I'm going to be doing a lot of Golden State Warriors games. And I'm planning that schedule out. And I want to give a shout to my good buddy, Bill Schoenig. Oh, what the hell am I talking about? My dear friend, Bill Schoenig, longtime voice of the Spurs in his 23rd season. I'll have a chance to work 3 games with him.
Hey. All right.
As is the statistician. One in Indiana, one in Chicago, and the third one's a surprise. So I'll let y'all know where I'll be for that one. So the third one's coming in January. So I'll let you know when that one.
We got to do an alternative play-by-play call for hockey this year.
You're on.
Right on.
I would love.
Gotta sharpen my skills.
I gotta sharpen mine too. Ryan, it would be my honor to call a hockey game with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we gotta work out
my honor.
We also gotta work out the Grey Cup and the East and West Final on November 11th.
Because they're on Saturday this year.
They're on Saturdays this year, yeah.
East and West, which is perfect because Sonya doesn't work, so we can plan that. And I think it's the afternoon, early evening setup.
3 o'clock, 6:30.
3 and 6:30. That's perfect. That's perfect. So we can do both of those and then plan for the Grey Cup. I watched the Grey Cup last year, which was in Saskatchewan. So Rod went all out. Rod and the crew went all out. Clark Monroe
yes and no, in that Rod was at the parties, but he wasn't actually at the game, I guess. I don't know. If I remember correctly, I think he might have been in Florida, or he might have been on his way back to Florida at that point.
Well, this is Rod Peterson we're talking about. He can do anything.
Hey, that's right.
This is Rod Peterson we're talking about. He can do it. He can do any and everything. I mean, Rod was the one I announced to when we were moving to North Carolina. I ain't not sitting on this show.
Yeah. That's how we got connected.
Yeah, that's exactly how we got connected. Because you and I would always be in the comments section, and then we got connected, and lo and behold, you get coffee with McCarthy. And I have to tell this story for Jody because she doesn't know how I came up with McCarthy. I flipped one morning. I had worked all night on my website, which I'm probably going to wind up doing tonight, making sure everything is updated. I worked on my website all night long, and I didn't have the set. I didn't have the set up, and her alarm goes off, and she comes in. She gives me a shoulder rub, and she says, "You kick ass today, but as soon as you're done, you go to bed." Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was a Monday when I said it. That Monday morning, you were in the comments section lurking around, offering your thoughts like you always do, and I love when you're there. And I had a cup of coffee here next to me. I took a sip, and then I brought up one of your comments, and the next thing that flew out of my mouth was Ryan McCarthy.
Bingo.
And I said, "What?" I sat here laughing during each break that I took.
Yeah, and I was like, "I'll take it."
And you know the greatest thing about that nickname? It's stuck.
It's stuck. No matter who, no matter. Yeah, Wise says it. Cool says it. You say it.
It's stuck. It was a
Nicola says it.
Freudian. It was a Freudian slip because I worked all night.
See, sometimes being overtired does good things.
Yes. And you know the crazy part? I went and got more coffee that morning.
Yeah. Did you go to sleep? No.
Sleep was overrated that day. But I will say this. When I crashed, I fell completely out to the point where I woke up, I saw Jody off to work, and the next thing I knew, it was 10:40. I was scrambling to get in here. But that was a total Freudian slip, and it stuck.
Yeah.
And it's stuck.
Well, I gotta run.
All right, my friend.
Couple things. No corrections required. Back on its regular time tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
We'll be back. Then the following week will be on November 1st because Halloween is on is a Tuesday this year. So we're gonna. So Dustin and I made the executive decision to have our show on Wednesday instead of Thursday next week. But we return to Tuesday nights on the regular, unless I'm hosting trivia somewhere. Also, I'd like to make an appeal to the Snowman audience. My co-host Dustin is doing he does this event. He's done this event for 6 years in a row. It's called Extra Life. And what you do is that it's a fundraiser for a local charity. So the charity of his choice is the Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center, where they help out with kids who have childhood cancer. And last year he raised $1,000. He's looking to raise $1,100 this year. He's gonna be going live on his Twitch channel, which is Eldusto67 on November 4th, playing video games for 24 hours straight to do a fundraiser for this charity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop in the chat the link where you can donate. He's at $200 right now. His goal is $1,100. I'm gonna be sending some money his way. If you're being led to donate, please donate. It's a great cause, and Dustin's doing a cool thing, playing video games for 24 straight hours and raising some money for a worthwhile cause. So I'll put the link in the chats, and that way you can donate and give him a shout when you donate. So I would appreciate it. He would appreciate it.
We would definitely take a look, and Dustin, old Snowman, will be popping in, and I'll make a donation myself, which gives me an idea on how I can help fund this stadium tour. My wife got some T-shirts that I will be premiering here. I will get her permission. She's the financial officer, and she's the one that came up with the idea. I'll premiere them here. I'll give one away as a prize, and then we'll either auction off the rest or we'll sell the rest. But we're gonna do something here. Thank you, Mr. McCarthy. Love you, brother, so much, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, talk to you next Monday.